TEJAS. What is TEJAS? Well, it's the Native American pronunciation for Texas. It's actually the Caddo tribe of Native Americans. I believe they were kind of in the eastern part of Texas, and TEJAS means friend, or it means ally. So why am I talking about Texas history? Well, of course, as you probably know if you've watched this channel much at all, I'm originally from Texas. I live in Wisconsin now, but of course I'm very proud of the fact that I am a native Texan, and today I'm featuring another Texas soap. I've got a little sample of it right here. I'll get a better shot of it, but it's Loanstar from Noble Otter Soap Company, based out of Houston, Texas, which is really not too far where the Caddo tribe actually was located. This came to me from Todd over at Take Care Man. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description here, but super nice guy. I had a lot of communication with him over Facebook and whatnot. We've shared some soap samples and whatnot, and yeah, he sent me Loanstar, which I think I recently just saw on Noble Otter's website. You can get the Aftershave, but not the soap, or maybe the other way around. I don't know. It's been out of stock for a really long time, and I know that you can get one or the other. So I'm excited to use this. When I smell it, it's kind of, it's a light scent. It reminds me of something. I mean, it's supposed to kind of remind me of Texas, and I guess it does that. A little bit of leather, a little bit of kind of like barbershop scent. I don't know, just very pleasant and very light. So that's very cool. So thanks, Todd, for that. And then also to go along with that, he sent me a sample of an aftershave. This is Texas on Fire. This is from Stirling Soap Company, of course, based out of Arkansas, but I believe the couple that started this company is originally from Texas. And I'll take just a little whiff of it here. It smells very like fire, or like smoke, kind of, you know? I mean, it's called Texas on Fire, so that kind of makes sense. But no, it's really great stuff. It's pretty strong scent. I have not used either of these. I mean, I've smelled them a million times, but I haven't actually used them on my face. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. So that's kind of, it's another Texas themed thing. So I'm also using two other new products. So this is an interesting brush. It is an Omega synthetic, and it's actually called like Syntex. Notice how white the bristles are here. And when you compare them, see, I've brought out this, you've seen me use this red Omega synthetic. So if you kind of compare the two, you can see very similar as far as like the handle is. In fact, they may be the same, just different color. I love this brush, but this is a different brush. Again, this is Syntex versus just S-brush. And the best way to describe it is like, you know, if you use a brush on like your dishes or something like that, like it kind of has a kind of pokes, or like a scritchy. I think some people describe brushes as being kind of scritchy. So I do kind of get that. Against the face, it's a little rough. I wonder if this was like an early synthetic brush, and they still make it, obviously, super cheap. Bought it for $10 on eBay. But I will say, once you get some water in it, it softens up quite a bit. Now, technically it's synthetic, and it really shouldn't absorb any water, but I think just the fact that it holds some water, warm water, makes it a bit softer. But interesting little brush. I just thought it looks cool. The three colors, the very stark white, black, and then the blue. I think it all just looks cool, and I don't know, it's fun. I've used it a few times. I'm going to be using that with my Timeless bowl. You've already seen at least one video with this Timeless bowl, and I like it a lot. It's a great little bowl. It's got those cool ridges down in it. That really helps to build a lather. And then I guess kind of last up is my razor that I'm using. First time I've ever used this razor. I just got it in the mail actually yesterday. This is the L6. This is, I believe, the cheapest razor you can buy on Amazon. It came in at under $7. My last shave was a super cheap adjustable, the Futur like knockoff. I don't mean for these to be really cheap shaves. They just happen to be. I've got a couple of nice razors and a couple of nice brushes and stuff, but just happens to be a couple of cheap shaves. I've heard the head being compared to a Mercure like 1904, which I have. This is my first DE safety razor, and they look very similar. I'll get some better shots of it here, but they look very similar when you compare the profile, when you compare just how they look in general. Again, this has an aluminum handle, and the craftsmanship is not near as good as the Mercure, but like they are very similar. So I'm anxious to see if I get kind of a similar shave. I've heard by some people that the L6 is a very aggressive razor. I've heard from some people it's a very mild razor. We'll see. We'll see, because like I said, I have never used it. Today will be the first time that I've used it. And then I guess the final thing is here, this blade. Let me put this one back, but an Asco Blade. I've used this one other time, and actually I had kind of low expectations of it, and it turned out to be a very good shave. So I'm hoping I get another good shave, second use of this Asco Blade. So that is everything. That is all of my stuff that I'm using. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to lathering in my timeless bowl. We'll get some video of that, and then we'll come back and we'll do the actual shave. See you in a second. There you go. You can see I've got the soap loaded up here in my timeless bowl. I'm going to quick show this. Of course, it wouldn't be a Texas shave without showing my Texas mug, and I've got my brush soaking in my Texas mug. Oh, I'm spilling water everywhere. But anyways, yeah, so that's where that is been soaking. Let me set that down, and of course I'll bring the brush over here. Add a little bit of water. Okay, that should be good. There's that brush. Here's the bowl. Let's go ahead and start getting that together here. So I've used this bowl quite a few times. I think this is only my second video with the bowl, but it is great. I love this bowl. Those ridges on the bottom work absolutely perfect. A lot of people kind of complain about like hitting the sides. I don't really have that problem. Maybe I keep my lathering under control. But I've been at this like 15, 20 seconds. And I've already got this incredible lather going. Now I know a lot of people add a ton of water, and then that makes for a really fluffy like lather. I kind of like this. I like more kind of a sticky lather. Does that make sense? Like, and then I can add more water as I put it on my face. So that's kind of what I end up doing. So that only took me a few seconds. You know, I see a lot of people spending a really long time building up a lather, and that's not going to be the case with me. I like a drier, thicker, stickier lather. So that's all I'm going to do. There you go. That was easy. See you in a sec. Now in my last video, I've already done my prep for this video, and in my last video I mentioned that I washed my face and with a glycerin bar, and I said it was a Noxzema bar. It was actually Neutrogena. So both start with an N. That's why I got confused there. So yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more water to this just within the camera transition. It has dried out just a tad. So I'm going to put just a little bit of water in back here. The magic of television. That's a really good light scent. I can't really put my finger on what it reminds me of. Kind of just soap. Just a soap scent. Maybe it's meant to smell like saddle soap, which you use to clean, like, well, a saddle, obviously, in Texas, but also like you can use it on like an old pair of boots or something. Cowboy boots, man. You know, everyone in Texas. They say everyone in Texas wears cowboy boots. Not necessarily. I have a pair of elephant skin boots. Filling up a bowl there. My dad bought them in the 70s. Pretty sure you can't. I know you can't get elephant skin boots anymore, but back in the 70s, you could. And he gave them to me. I don't wear them much because they're kind of. I mean, obviously, an elephant gave its life. But then also just they're dated. They look like something out of the 1970s. But being from Texas, I do own cowboy boots. I have two other Noble Otter soaps, Rar and Firefighter. And this performs just as well as those other soaps. I don't know how well you can see that. So I now have three cheap Omega synthetic brushes. I'll add a little more water. Like I said when I was lathering this, I like a thick lather that I can add more water to on my face. And I think we'll go with that. That's good. In some of my latest videos, I've talked about my family, my dad, my grandmothers, my grandfathers. I've left out my mom. So she's from Texas. I'll talk about her today. Let's get started though real quick with the Lord L6 razor. It's a little bit long for me. I like a short handle. That seems to be shaving well though. For a razor I've never used. And for $7, less than $7. Not bad at all. My mom, her name is Donna. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And what I admire more than anything about her is her toughness. She is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. Once, not long after I was born, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And then again when I was like 10 years old, it came back. Going back a bit, she's had a tough life. No other way to put it really. She lost her father in a car accident when she was very young. And I believe they had the funeral like on her birthday or something, or around then. So that's gotta be tough, right? But she is a Texas Tech graduate, like myself. She's very proud to be a Texas Tech graduate. She got her degree in ornamental horticulture. She minored in mathematics. She's super smart. She loves flowers and she loves gardening. I know Paul H. Films, his wife, is a huge gardener. Well, my mother is the same way. She loves flower arranging and she loves just growing stuff. She has a real green thumb. She worked for the phone company for her career. In like the business kind of section or the business accounts, and I think she worked in the complaint department. So she heard a lot of people calling in that were upset. Wow, that was a really great shave. She also raised the greatest kid that ever lived, and that is I. But no, she's a really great lady. I love my mom. I also like to make fun of her and give her a hard time. Maybe it's because I don't have any siblings, and she was kind of my, she was like a brother or a sister a sibling that I would pick on, you know? So her and I, my dad was always like, do I need to separate you two? Like he would say to two kids, but it was my mom and I. Yeah, Donna Williams, great. She was like big into Girl Scouts when she was a kid. She loves to like camp and be outdoors, as do I. My dad, not so much. He'd rather just stay in a hotel. He enjoys the comforts of home. Here, I'll switch to this. Yeah. It's a great bowl. I'm new to bowl lathering. I've only been doing it about a year, if that. I'm glad I'll switch back. I'm glad I bowl lather. Donna. She's funny. Yeah, pranks, like, I like to, like... One time we were in the car, and my dad and I are big dudes. So she was in the back, and she's little. She's only, like, 5'2". She's tiny. My dad and I are each over 6 feet tall. She's in the back seat. I'm in the front seat with my dad. He's driving. So that we had more room. Maybe I was driving. I don't know. But I had her convinced. Not so well. We were having an argument or a debate about theme songs from old TV shows. And I was like, yeah. Here's how it goes. It goes the theme song to Flipper and the theme song to Lassie. I was interchanging the two. So I was going, they call, or let's do Lassie first. They call her Lassie, Lassie, faster than lightning, which is clearly the Flipper theme. But I was doing the Lassie theme. And then I was like, she's like, no, it doesn't go like that. And I was like, yeah, and then Flipper goes like this. Oh, Flipper. That's how the Lassie theme goes, but I was saying it was Flipper. She was getting very agitated. She could not catch on that I was joking. My dad knew I was joking. He thought it was funny that my mom was getting so upset. And he was like, why do you do that to your mother? And I do it because I love her. If I didn't love her, I wouldn't have fun with her like that. It'll probably drive her over the edge and she'll kill me or something someday. But it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. So that's my mom, Donna Williams. Very proud of her. Tough lady. Beat cancer twice. The first time that she had cancer, she had an extremely low chance of surviving. Very aggressive cancer. The next time around, I believe she actually had more aggressive cancer, but technology had improved even over just 10 years. This would have been the early 90s. And she had a better chance of survival. A lot of people, especially ladies, don't like to get older. She loves to get older because she's a survivor, and it means every year she's on Earth is another year she survived cancer. So there you go. Today's Valentine's Day. It's going to take me a week to get this edited. That's kind of my process. But the wife and I are having a fancy dinner at home. Steak and salad and all kinds of candlelit with our daughters. We decorated the house. It's also February 14th, and we're just now taking down our Christmas tree. It's a fake Christmas tree, but just been busy doing stuff. Ooh, two other things. The Super Bowl, that was a butt. I'm sorry. I wanted Kansas City to win. I was very, very bummed that Kansas City did so poorly. For my job, I
I've mentioned this before. I kind of host webcasts and I do digital video production. I hosted a webcast with
the actress Taraji P. Henson. She was on the show Empire. She was in the movie Hidden Figures. So I got to meet her virtually. That was really cool. She was talking about how mental health affects the African American community. The stigma and also just the inability for people of color to find therapists that are also African American or just, of similar race, because maybe they just want to, maybe they feel that a therapist that is the same race as them could empathize a little bit better with them. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of black therapists out there. So she has kind of started a foundation to help in any way she can people of color to find resources for mental health, which is, I think, is a really great thing. So that was very cool to get to meet her and talk with her about that. I'm a big believer in therapy. Talk to somebody, man. Don't keep that stuff bottled up. I've dealt with depression on and off my entire life, and it's really helped me to be able to talk to somebody. Oh, I don't want to get these spots real quick before I forget. Let me put my towel down. So, if you or anybody you know needs to talk to somebody, encourage them to. There's free resources out there. There's group therapy, if that's usually free. It's kind of like AA or something. I encourage people to go talk to people. My mom has always been, going back to my mom, she, like after the death of her dad, it's good to meet with a therapist. She's always encouraged it for me. The burden of some things are just too much to take on alone. So there's that. My wife's in there baking a chocolate cake. Super excited about that. We're going to have that with our dinner. Fancy dinner, candlelight dinner. Now I'll finish kind of cleaning up here. Up next is St. Patrick's Day, which I found out just a few years ago. My lineage, I'm Irish. My dad did some research. I don't know if it was through like Ancestry.com or what. He did some research. We're Irish. So I get to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And of course, St. Patrick's Day, at least for me, kind of marks the beginning of the pandemic. Basically, it was just a couple days later that I ended up like working from home. Still work from home mostly. Good shave with the L6 Lord razor and the Asco Blade. Of course, love the Timeless bowl, love this Omega synthetic brush. Let's move on now to this aftershave. It's got like a little spray bottle. I'll try the spray. But I think I'm going to spray my hands and then put it on. It's not really working. Oh, it smells like a campfire. That's cool. I know that's weird to use this little thing here. There we go. Just put a good dollop of it there. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's weird. It smells like I love to grill. Love to use my kettle grill and smoke stuff. And that smells just like I've been out grilling. Cool. I love Stirling soaps, Aftershave, and their soap. And this is no exception. This is good stuff. I can't wait for my wife to smell this in a minute. She's going to be like, dude, you smell like our grill. Alright, that's good stuff. Good Texas shave. Good chat about my mother. Thank you guys for watching. See you again soon.